cycle ride from Plymouth to Jennycliff and a walk from Jennycliff to Wembury in two parts. The Southwest Coastal Paths UK. So I'm now just to the left of Mountbatten, which is further east. You're to the east of Mountbatten, Mountbatten. You can have a coffee here. So just to the east of Port Bovesam, you've got Bovesam Beach, which is a nice little cove with a holiday camp at the top there. So once again, there's Port Bovesam. There's a breakwater, which looks very narrow from here with the perspective. And there, over in that direction, you've got Wembury. We might end up in Wembury, yeah, I don't know. So I moved to Plymouth to do HND in media, film and television in 92, 94. And during that time I covered Plymouth First World AIDS Day, which is very edgy and controversial in the mid-90s because HIV, there was very little known about it. And at that stage it was a terminal illness for a lot of people. Looking at those boats just reminded me that Sir Francis Chichester also set off from Plymouth to sail around the world. Another inspirational character. He was diagnosed as being terminally ill, I think, before he left. And it helped to cure the problem by him sailing around the world. And as a schoolboy at primary school, I wrote a very short poem. It sounds a bit naive now, but I wrote a poem about the challenges he went through. I see a boat out on the sea. Its sails are white as white can be. As it goes right round the Horn, its masts are broken, the sails are torn. Sir Francis Chichester has no sleep. Sir Francis Chichester's had no sleep. I fear he'll drown in the darkest deep. Well, that's not bad for a 8 or 9-year-old lad. At the time, I don't think. But it shows how I've been inspired by the adventurers from an early age. Down to Wembury and the heart stood still. The do run, the do run, etc, etc, etc. So coming out of Mountbatten, there's two tracks. There's the lower track which have just come up from Mountbatten, where the breakwater is, and then there's the upper track there. And I'm keeping to the right for a while anyway, see how far I go. And silly me, haven't brought a watch with me, so I'll just play it by ear. Keep an eye on the sun, play the Indian bit. And when it gets to a certain level, start heading back. But I'm feeling great, one with the world, taking in the irons from the air on a warm, balmy day with a very slight breeze, just to keep the heat down. Think about the UK, even in the summer, the middle of summer, you can find little beaches where you can spend the afternoon by yourself without being interrupted at all, because people are like sheep. They stay in areas where they can park their cars and just walk off 200 yards from the cars. So I'm only half an hour from Haybrook Bay, and I've never been there before, I don't think. If I have, it's been a long time ago. So let's see where we go. I'm feeling good, I knew that I would now. So good, so good, I'm feeling fine. Cue for a song. That's interesting, as soon as you get to the other side of the breakwater, the sea is clear, crystal clear. See what I mean by miles of coves with nobody there in the middle of summer. That's brilliant. And just over the back there, I believe that's the Mewstone at Wembury. So I've walked a lot quicker and a lot further than what I thought I would have, which I always do in a very short period of time. So if that's Wembury, I've nearly done 7 kilometres. So by the time I got back to Jennycliff to pick the bike up, I'll have done 14 kilometres walk around. And a beautiful afternoon it is as well. I see trees of green. Clear my voice a bit. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and for you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I'm not mad, don't think. The colours of the rainbow flow gently in the sky, sitting on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands saying, well, just this side of Mount Batten I saw a lady topless sunbathing. Couldn't record that, of course, which I didn't do, but it just shows what difference a few hundred yards or a couple of miles can make on an area. Nature is always cruel. Spiders have to kill other animals to survive and eat, so they build these traps. What a beautiful little cove this is. I've just saved Daddy Longlegs from that spider's web, so I've done my good deed for the day. Looking back at it, I've been here before. I cycled here, and there's a very, very upmarket property at the back there, which I probably recorded before actually. So this is a diving area. I've just seen some guys going down there to dive, and still on the coastal path heading towards Wembury. And you could be in the Mediterranean at the moment. It's so beautiful, and it makes everybody else relaxed and happy as well. Yet again, you've got two path directions. You've got an upper track and a lower track, and I think I'll stay to the lower track so I can stay closer to the beach. National Trust, Wembury Point. Gosh, Wembury. So I've nearly walked 7 kilometres already, and I didn't realise it. It only felt like a 2 or 3, which is brilliant. So we got down to Wembury almost, and the Mewstone, where Plymouth artists in White Lane base all their paintings from, or some of them anyway. Glyn White works from here, and all his scenes are from Wembury, where he does his surfing and is inspired by the landscape. And Tom Bird, the artist, all very talented and all a good art investment, come from as well. If I was down here, I'd be inspired by the landscape as well. So the White Lane artists are based in Plymouth Barbican, near, not too far from Mayflower Steps, the famous Mayflower Steps, where the Pilgrim Fathers sailed out from Plymouth 400 years ago to discover, as already mentioned, Australia and South America and the Americas, because the Americas were almost British at one point. So to hell with Brexit, the whole world was nearly British. What goes around comes around. So why can't other people come and claim the UK? Because UK was almost French at one point. So now I'm at Wembury Point, and some Plymouth artists have been influenced by Wembury and the Mewstone. And if you go into Plymouth Barbican, look at the work of Glyn White and Tom Bird at White Lane in Plymouth Barbican, near the famous Mayflower Steps, you'll see they have fantastic paintings that are highly collectible and inspiring. So go and buy some. Closer look at the Mewstone. I'm more than happy. 3 days ago I cycled down to Land's End and walked along the coastal path there. And today I've just walked to Wembury from Plymouth, or from Mount Batten, where I parked the bike and then walked round to here. And it's beautiful around here. Like I said, it inspires artists. So I've already got a video on Wembury on YouTube, so don't forget to look at the video and also look at the ponies. So that's Chris Summerfield at Wembury. Thank you. Love to see this bird. What's it say there? Beautiful. Demolition for nature. It says a lot about the UK, doesn't it? 2005, Wembury Point was up for sale, and under threat of development, the National Trust, with support from thousands of people, bought 59 hectares to safeguard the species, or the special place, forever. I should think so too. It probably would have become a holiday camp or something. Well, I must say that's been another fantastic walk along the coastal path in the UK, and I'm going to start walking back towards my bike now, which is at Jennycliff. I keep forgetting the name, Jennycliff, and then head back towards Plymouth, and then get some tea. Beautiful southwest coastal path. The answer, my friend. Listen to the sound. Another historical monument, probably from the Second World War. I wouldn't be surprised if there used to be a gun in the centre there. But who knows? Yeah, I was wondering where July had gone, and then I realised I'd been in Bordeaux and Lisbon this July. I was walking all over Lisbon, and yes, I am a giant. And then dropped down to Costa Rica, and then when I was in Bordeaux I did a lot of exploring around there as well, and then I've been to Exeter, I've been to Bristol, so no wonder every weekend's been taken up in July so far. And then it's nearly the end of July and I'm going to be in Brighton this weekend, and then I'm off to Prague to cover Pride in Prague, so that's into August, at the beginning of August, and then decide what I'm doing for the rest of the year then and where I'm going to go. So you only have to go a couple of miles out of Plymouth to get a totally different vibe of laid back beach, bumming afternoons. Not quite the right word, but I couldn't think of the right word to say. Laid back beach combing afternoon is probably more appropriate, and it's bohemian outside, really nice. Go to Belvedere Park. Remember, they lock the gates at 9 o'clock. So if you come here to use the beach, I've just seen the sign. And I can't go in there, that's private land. So I've got a bit disorientated as to where the main footpath, the coastal path goes up there. So I've got a slightly off route somewhere, so I've got to find the track. So that's where I went wrong. When you get to Bovistown, you have to take the top track, and then the sign's here. No problem. Very narrow entrance, so you could quite easily miss it. And I need something to drink. That's my. I'm slowing down with my voice a bit. As I said earlier, I tend to walk further than what I intend to. By the time I get back to the bike, I'll have done 14k, and I've not brought any liquid with me, which isn't a very good idea on a hot day like this. Should have brought some. I could have stopped for a drink, but I'm trying to save money. So I'll wait back till I get back to my flat now and have a drink of Fanta. Another thing they failed to tell you in the UK is when they're at sea, the Russians and the British Navy actually get on very well together and even share things in lots of cases. After all, we're all human and they're all human. When the press make everybody out to be enemies. And in fact, if you're in the Navy, you've got to be one of the most passive of people, because you've got to get on with people in very confined areas for a long period of time. So the walk back's the hardest bit because it's uphill quite a way, which is good. It's great exercise. Navy, you can sail the 7 seas in the Navy. You can who you please in the Navy. They want you as a new recruit. Nearly back at Mountbatten, and there's Mountbatten and Jennycliff. In just under a month's time they'll be having the National Fireworks Championships there. And nearing the end of July, the very sweet black currants are out, and they're bitter. This year. Very fruity but nice and bitter. Country, a real fantasy world of escapism. Peace. Quiet. Music of nature. At the end of today's walk, if you go up on the top road, that'll take you to the main road, and quarter of a mile from Jennycliff. I'll take the bottom track, drop down, and then show you where my bag is in the distance. I must say, walking down here was a better decision than following the road. Just look at this. beautiful views, peace and quiet, and a calming, poetic sound of the sea. Tracks are like life. When you're going backwards and forwards, you see different directions, different bearings, and that's not what I'm looking for. What am I looking for? Depending on what direction you're going in, you see different perspectives. So tracks are like life, and that's what the point I was getting at, I think. Definitely. And back into Jenny Cliff, and that's 14k I've just done. Nice one, Chris. That could be another day or two. I might try pull. 3 days to pull. I think this map needs to be the other way around. You need to wipe your feet when you leave Plymouth. Make yourself clean and healthy again. So that was a great walk again today, and I'm back at Jenny Cliff, and my bike is just over the back there by the ice cream van. And back to my bike. I haven't got any change for an ice cream, so I'll get something when I get home. Hello old faithful, you've done me well during the last 4 years, even though you broke my wrist. Correction, the bike didn't break my wrist, I broke the wrist myself by making stupid mistakes. Poor bike. So my walk's just been extended because I've got a puncture and a no punch out fit with me, but that doesn't really matter. And the ribs gone from the inside of my helmet as well, but that doesn't really matter either, because I wasn't really happy with it. Another boat, another story. This has been a Chris Summerfield video 2018. You can contact me at ccsPhoto12@hotmail.com, and if you can help to sponsor my videos, you can PayPal me at ccsPhoto1@gmail.com. Thanks for watching the video. It's a lifestyle.